Tonight at 6 on Tulsa's Channel 8.
Police say a 13-year-old student shot himself inside this school. We'll have the latest on the tragedy in Stillwater.
What are the warning signs of suicide, and what can you do?
You shouldn't keep a suicide secret.
We'll show you the best ways to help.
A town hall meeting designed to let residents in Tulsa tell the governor what they think.
Strong to severe storms continue across the area. We'll have the latest look at HD Max 8000.
You're watching KTUL, Tulsa's Channel 8.
And we begin with an update to breaking news in Stillwater, where an 8th grader has taken his own life at the junior high school.
Police say the incident happened around 7:50 this morning in a hallway of the school. 13-year-old KTUL was discovered shot to death, but one student says she thought it was a joke until she heard people screaming. Channel 8's Latoya Silman has more on this tragedy. She's live tonight in Stillwater, where students were sent home for the day. Latoya?
Well, Mark, we've all seen those headlines. We've heard the stories about school shootings. But, people in Stillwater say, not here. It's always somewhere else. But today, police say a 13-year-old walked inside of the school and shot himself in front of some of his classmates. And no one can believe that.
It's a very emotional time, very trying.
Stillwater Junior High is in mourning and in shock. KTUL, an 8th grader, took his own life in a hallway here in front of other students. Kennedy Mundy didn't see it, but the 9th grader says he heard the fatal gunshot.
Everyone was screaming, everyone was running down the halls. I didn't know what to think. I was just like, I gotta get to safety.
He says he ran to the nearest classroom to wait it out, preparing for the worst. Like others, he had no idea at the time what was going on. The school was on lockdown.
I've been in education 34 years. Have never had a situation like this.
And neither has teacher Burnell Murray. We found the special ed teacher who was once a student here taking a walk to clear his head.
As an educator, you don't want anything. You want your kids to be, your students to be happy every day, and unfortunately the world we live in, that's unlikely. I wish there was some help that we had for them.
The district says there's no record that Cade was a victim of bullying, but students are talking, saying his red hair was a point of ridicule. Kennedy says he's heard those rumors, and he and others are vowing to stop anything like this from happening again. They'll return here tomorrow, no doubt sad. Many will never be the same.
I can go back to school like tomorrow, but I can look at that same hallway again. I just couldn't look at the school again the same way.
And the school says that it will have extra counselors on hand to help students who need it. They believe that at least 6 students were in that hallway at the time of the shooting. Live in Stillwater, Latoya Silman, Tulsa's Channel 8.
All right, thanks to Latoya. The district says it's normal for students to experience anger, sadness, fear, and even guilt. So parents take time to discuss what happened. District says if parents need help, it can be of assistance as well.
And local experts tell us that it's possible to know all of the signs of suicide and still not be able to see them in your loved one because you can't be with them all of the time. Now, according to Family and Children's Services, those behaviors include becoming withdrawn, giving away prized possessions, and saying things like, "You'd be better off without me." If your friend or relative shows any of these warning signs, talk to them about it. Urge them to get help and don't keep it a secret.
You might be feeling like if you're a friend of the person, that's a good friend thing to do would be to keep that secret, but it's a better friend thing to do if you let an adult know that something is going on so your friend can get the help that he or she needs.
And to reach Family and Children's Services, COPE's hotline, call 918-744-4800. It is available 24 hours a day.
Well, flooding rains continue to be a concern, especially to the south of Interstate 40 right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on outside. And we have seen major concerns, especially down in the south. That's why flash flood warnings remain in effect for Pittsburgh and McIntosh counties until 8:30. Also a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for McIntosh, actually Pittsburgh County, until 6:15. And the overall area of concern is stretching from Chandler, Okmulgee, Seminole, even includes Hanna, Eufaula, Poteau, and Tallahassee. Medina, you are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock tonight. As we take a look at what's going on over the last 6 hours, we saw a huge line of showers and thunderstorms roll through the area, producing some strong storms, and we have more activity continuing to fire up just right around Miami and Veneta area as well. So strong thunderstorms continue to pop across the region. Big concerns for hail, gusty winds, heavy rainfall, and the rain that has fallen over parts of McAllister, Hanna, and Crowder have been absolutely unbelievable. 1 to 3 inches in some of these locations. As we zoom into the storm cell, you can see from Dustin to Wetumpka, even Lamar, still very heavy rain. The system is just not moving a whole lot. It's just sitting right over top, kind of training and pooling over the same region, and so that's why we're seeing the flooding rains going on there. Seems to be raining itself out just a little bit. We've also had hail up to $half size, golf ball size throughout the afternoon into the evening. Seems to also be losing a little bit of its intensity, but as we take a look at the storm cell, it is just really massive and intense, and we have had all kinds of storm reports coming in, from strong gusty winds up to 80 miles an hour, stretching from Dustin all the way down to Crowder, and again, those flooding road conditions that continue over that area. So keep a very close watch on what is going on over your region. Another system, another wave of moisture is headed our way, forming over the Texas-Oklahoma panhandle. I'll let you know when it will be arriving here in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Well, 5 staff members with Victory Christian Center appeared in Tulsa County Court today. They're accused of waiting 2 weeks to report the alleged rape of a 13-year-old girl at their church. Prosecutors filed misdemeanor charges last week against John Doherty, Sharika Doherty, Paul Willemstein, Anna George, and Harold Frank Sullivan. All 5 pleaded not guilty today. They're due back in court October 31st. The church suspended the workers pending an investigation. The girl is one of 4 alleged victims, either sexually assaulted or propositioned by 2 former Victory workers.
State lawmaker says he plans to repeal a century-old Oklahoma law that makes blasphemy a crime. That law was established back in 1910. It makes it a misdemeanor to say or print words that ridicule the Christian religion or any other religion. Republican Randy Grau of Edmond says he was prompted in part by violent protests with the release of an anti-Islamic film. Grau says while he does not support the disparagement of any religion, he believes it's necessary to stand up for free speech even when it's unpopular. Governor Fallin spent the lunch hour today talking to local citizens about several topics.
But the main issue on people's minds is the state of education in Oklahoma. Channel 8's Kimberly Hulsey has more on the governor's outlook for students.
During today's town hall meeting, the main message was about education. Everyone wanted to know what's going to be done over the next year. The audience heard about plans for high-tech jobs in Oklahoma, roads, and mainly education. Several people asked about funding and getting more money to the classroom. The cabinet is working on several plans to study what money in education is spent on and how they can best manage it. But the big concern is about getting the economy back to full force. Governor Fallin says this way they could have more money in the budget to go to education, public safety, healthcare, and transportation. But she also says she is working with the cabinet to get more money back to the classroom.
To look at ways that we can get more money to the classroom, to have accountability, to have standards, to make sure that when we have a 12th grade graduation certificate that it actually means a student is capable of performing those skill sets at the 12th grade high school level, to be able to move on to college, to be able to move on to a career tech so they can get out in the workforce and be able to support their families the way they want to.
Kimberly Hulsey, Tulsa's Channel 8.
Well, less than a day away now until the Tulsa State Fair. Right now, the fairgrounds are buzzing with all kinds of activity in advance of opening day. Today, state inspectors were touring the grounds, making sure all the rides were working properly according to state law, and they're not messing around either. Oklahoma has strict standards when it comes to ride safety, and officials say the public demands it.
Not only could they be fined, and the ride shut down, or a portion of the ride shut down. If the ride were not shut down, then local law enforcement could be called in.
We're told rides are inspected throughout the fair, not just at the beginning.
And while you're out at the fair, be sure to stop by our Tulsa's Channel 8 booth. It's on the upper level of the Quick Trip Center. You can take a picture with our life-size Gusty, spin the Wheel of Fortune for all kinds of prizes, plus sign up to win an ATV from Action Sports. Also on Friday night from 5 to 8, you'll have a chance to meet the Tulsa Oilers.
We'll be out there tomorrow.
You bet. Looking forward to it.
All right, when we come back, how a cat nap can improve your memory.
And if you need help getting some shut-eye in public, we might just have a solution. How this odd-looking contraption can help you get some Z's.
And severe storms continue to produce flooding rains, hail, lightning across green country. We'll have the latest on HD Max 8000.
Yeah, the referees obviously they had some vision issues, so we decided that we could help them with that.
Plus, meet a Wisconsin eye doctor who's offering up free services to Monday night's NFL referees.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
You may have heard that legendary crooner Andy Williams has passed away. Williams died at his home in Branson yesterday after a year-long fight with bladder cancer. He's best known for the Oscar-winning song Moon River from the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. He's survived by his wife Debbie and 3 children. Andy Williams was 84 years old. Be careful tonight. Aliens are coming into your living room.
It's the premiere of ABC's new comedy, The Neighbors, and it might have you wondering where your neighbors are really from. Last month, Mark and I toured the set in Los Angeles and got this behind-the-scenes look.
From the lookout at Griffith Park, a relatively clear view of the most famous sign in the world. About 4 miles down the road is ABC and Walt Disney Studios. It's here where we find The Neighbors.
Yes, it's been 3 weeks. We've been shooting for 3 weeks.
Lenny Veneto plays Marty Weaver.
Make the neighbors normal.
The father of a human family living in a New Jersey neighborhood full of aliens.
Surprise.
His wife is played by Jamie Gertz.
My favorite oddity is that the men deliver children and give birth to children, not the women, which I am so excited to explore because I believe in real life if that happened there would be no children.
Oh dear.
He is Larry Bird, head alien from Zavron. On Earth, he's Simon Templeman from Sussex, England.
It's such a smart, entertaining script. I mean, I still read them and I laugh out loud when I read them. When we get a new script every week, and it's like opening a little present, you know.
Roll it, guys.
That present is compliments of writers like these two.
She's a high school sophomore. It's her first job.
Dan Fogelman created the show.
Action.
He's also famous for writing the screenplay for the Pixar movie Cars.
Oh yeah, he's done a few things. I told him, I said, you know, you're really good at this. You should stick around. You're going to go places.
All set to go again. Okay, all right. Stand by.
And tonight, we'll see if The Neighbors will go places. Its team of actors, writers, producers, and creator are all hoping to at least get you to laugh.
Cut. And we're cut here.
And The Neighbors makes its series premiere tonight at 8:30 right here on Tulsa's Channel 8.
All right, looks funny. Live great. If you like to nap, sleep away. There's new research backing that up. Surveys show that 50% of people 75 and older nap at least twice a week, and it's good for you too. New findings show that innocent pleasure sharpens your mind and improves your memory. Some advice, though, nap early between 1 and 4 p.m. so you don't interrupt your nighttime sleep, and only sleep for an hour or less so you're not too groggy. And you might recognize some of these famous nappers from over the years. They include Winston Churchill, Yogi Berra, Lyndon Johnson, Eleanor Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan, and Bill Clinton. Speaking of which, have you ever wanted to block out the world, maybe at work, here at the desk, or at the airport, and just take a little power nap?
Well, there is a new invention that can help if a bed is not nearby, so check it out. It's called the ostrich pillow, and it's kind of like a Snuggie for your head. You basically stick your head inside the pouch, creating a little private space in public. You look good while doing it, too. If you're worried about breathing, well, don't. There's a hole for your mouth and your nose. Won't get any weird looks at all.
I think it looks,
none whatsoever.
It looks stupid. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, no napping today. You have been busy.
No, I have. No doubt about it. HD Max 8000 is definitely getting a workout today. Kind of had to dust it off a little bit and check out what's going on. It's been an active one, and some areas really getting hit very, very hard this afternoon and this evening. We now have another severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Delaware County. So we are talking about Grove being impacted by this next severe thunderstorm that's moving through. 6:45 on the severe thunderstorm warning there. As we go down to the south, though, flash flood warnings also in effect for McIntosh and Pittsburgh counties until 8:30 tonight. And really a large area south of Tulsa, Tulsa not included in this, a severe thunderstorm watch in effect from Chandler, Okmulgee, does include Hanna, even Crowder, Stigler, McAllister, and we're continuing to watch this area of concern. And the reason why we've seen a ton of severe thunderstorms breaking out basically along Interstate 40. Now, what's been going on over the last 6 hours is that we saw a big line of storms roll through here late this morning, early this afternoon, all shifted off to the east of us. We've seen some redevelopment now going on just to the south of Miami, near Veneta as well. But overall, the big complex of showers and storms has been down to the south. It just continues to keep growing and staying stationary. It's not moved a whole lot. If anything, it's continuing to expand, and that is the reason why these locations from Crowder to Hanna, even Dustin, receiving over 1 to 4 inches of rainfall in a very short time, and that's why we've seen major flooding concerns in that area, and so the flash flood warnings remaining in effect. We're going to zoom in here again. We're looking at the Grove area, looking at a pocket of showers and thunderstorms, potentially some strong gusty winds, lightning, and yes, maybe even some small hail. As we go down to the south, though, from McAllister to around Haleyville, we are looking at, again, a little bit more pockets of some heavier rainfall, not quite as concentrated as it was earlier, at least over the last couple of hours. Seems to be breaking up a little bit and losing some of its intensity, but still a lot of rain associated with this. And back to the west, around Cromwell, even Seminole, we're still looking at the potential of some small hail. Gusts have been reported up to 80 miles an hour from time to time. And yes, a lot of lightning still going on, still very energized at this point, but not quite as active as it was just a couple of hours ago. So it means it might be kind of starting to rain itself out a little bit, but also seems to be sort of expanding in coverage. Now, here's just a look at some of the reports that we received from the hail, lightning, gusty winds, and yes, very heavy rainfall stretching from Dustin all the way down to Crowder. And again, some roadways definitely being impacted. And we still have another wave. We're going to see a little break here for a few hours. Another big line of severe storms breaking out of the Texas-Oklahoma panhandle, and this is what's headed in our direction. As we take a look at the big picture, though, as to what's going on, stationary front, it is back to the north of us. It is not moving. Now, it may drop a little bit further to the south here, but it is going to leave a large portion of the state, yes, in green country, unsettled here for the next 24, 48, yes, even 72 hours that we're looking at off and on showers and thunderstorms. 82 right now. That is the high so far today. So we've seen a little bit more of a break here in Tulsa. We have 60% humidity, light winds southeast at about 6 miles an hour. Futurecast showing us that, again, I think we'll see a pretty heavy pocket of rain coming through during the overnight hours. That's the area that's back over West Texas. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 60s, blanket of cloud and showers and storms potential throughout the day tomorrow. May see a little lull from time to time, and again, widely scattered. Not everybody's going to see the rainfall, but we will see some pockets with highs tomorrow in the mid to low 80s. Now, as we take a look, we keep a pretty significant chance of rain in the forecast Friday and Saturday. Again, it doesn't mean we're going to see a total washout every single day. It will be pockets of heavy rain in certain areas. Kind of hard right now to sort of pinpoint exactly what's going to be going on, but areas that have received rain here throughout the last 12 hours will probably be seeing more over the next 24 to 48 hours. But as that system gets a little closer to us, it will become more widespread. That's why I think Friday could be a big day for us.
Okay, thanks for the heads up.
Well, the Tulsa Shock find out where they're picking in next year's WNBA draft. That's coming up next in sports. Well, Monday night's dramatic last-second loss to the Seattle Seahawks has many Green Bay Packer fans seen red.
Yeah, the referees obviously they had some vision issues, so we decided that we could help them with that.
Wisconsin eye doctor is offering some help for the NFL replacement refs. He's offering up free LASIK surgery. Chris Smith says he and his staff also have some advice about decision making and the rules of football. No word whether the NFL will take the eye doctor up on his offer.
Hey, we knew Owaso's Dylan Bundy was good. I mean, after all, the Orioles drafted him 4th overall last year, but he's already been named the franchise's minor league player of the year. Oh, and he made his second appearance in the big leagues last night. It was Bundy's first time pitching at Camden Yards in Baltimore, and he threw a scoreless 9th inning against the Blue Jays, but Toronto held on to win 4-0. In college football, UAB head coach Garrick McGee has likely seen his share of TU football in his lifetime. After all, McGee is a Tulsa native and the grad of Booker T. But what McGee hasn't seen so far in his first season in Birmingham is a win as the Blazers head coach. UAB off to an 0-3 start, but they did put a scare in Ohio State last weekend in Columbus. Now UAB hosts Tulsa Saturday in Birmingham, and the way McGee sees it, well, his team is still perfect in league play.
I met Coach B when I was probably 5th, 6th grade, something like that. My dad and Coach Blankenship were really good friends, you know, competing against each other. He was the head coach at Union. You know, we were at our school. He's a mentor of mine for sure.
It has to be gut-wrenching for Razorback fans to watch their disappointing season be embarrassed just as much by interim head coach John L. Smith and his antics. Well, imagine being the guy who hired Smith. That was Arkansas Athletic Director Jeff Long, who spoke publicly today at the Northwest Arkansas Touchdown Club to talk about all things football, and he's sticking with Coach Smith while preparing to make a different long-term hire.
You know, where we are in the search, we're just doing background, we're just doing research, we're just looking at who may be attracted to us, who may be interested in us, and who would be a fit for us.
Nebraska AD Tom Osborne says he's stepping down. He'll retire finally at the end of the calendar year. Osborne had come back to be the AD in 07. Of course, Sooner and Cowboy fans remember Osborne's day as the Cornhuskers head football coach. He was at Nebraska for 25 seasons. And finally, we're calling it the Brittany Griner Sweepstakes unofficially. The WNBA draft lottery and the Tulsa Shock will pick third as Phoenix is the top pick, followed by Chicago.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks. That's our news tonight. Thanks for watching. Wheel of Fortune is up next.
Our coverage continues online at KTUL.com. We'll see you at 10.